Well, fans certainly loved him in films like Love Actually and The Best Exotic Marigold Hotel. Well, now you can see Bill Nighy in a whole new role as he stars in the film Pride. Bill Nighy, kind enough to join us all the way from London this morning to tell us more about this film. Good morning, Bill.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. I appreciate your time. It's quite a film. Just to tell people a little bit about it, it's about two different groups, both who were frowned upon 30 years ago in the United Kingdom, groups of gays and lesbians and groups of miners who were out on strike, and how they came together. Do you remember this time? Do you remember what this was like when you lived in London back then?
Everyone in Great Britain remembers the miners' strike. It was kind of like a civil war. It was that extreme. It was and it was almost entirely misrepresented by the press at the time for ideological reasons. And whole communities of working men and women were decimated by these events, and they have yet to recover, those communities.
And you look at it now, as you say, those communities have yet to recover, but it does appear that as far as the way the world has changed in 30 years, it's quite a perspective, I think, not only for people who lived through it, but maybe people who were unaware of it to learn about life in the mid-'80s as either gay and lesbian or as a miner on strike.
Sure. I mean, it is shocking that you discover that 30 years ago, a national newspaper in Great Britain could describe the gay community as the slime of society and get away with it without comment. It was normal. So we've come some long way since then. But the thing I'd like to alert people to is the fact that the film is very, 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 very funny. And the thing that got me into the movie was that when I read the script, it made me laugh from start to finish. The guy who wrote it is a kind of genius. It's one of the best scripts I've ever read. And don't worry too much about what the film's about. It's one of those films that you go and see and it just makes you feel a whole lot better about yourself and about the world you live in. It's a really, really special film. So I would urge people just to get down there.
I think it's especially fun as an American to see it because of some of the quirky nature of the Welsh people, of the Brits, as we say, just the things that we don't necessarily think of here in the States. And I like that a lot as well, as far as you talk about the humor.
Sure, yeah. I mean, he's a comic genius, the guy who wrote it, and the jokes they come thick and fast. And that Welsh community is a very witty, humorous community, and it's overdue that those people should be treated with respect and dignity, which they certainly were not at the time by Margaret Thatcher and her government.
Well, the film will be available for people to see here in the U.S. And I want to ask you about, I talked about Best Exotic Marigold Hotel. You had a terrific role in that film, and I'm understanding there's a sequel in the works?
Thank you. Yeah, it's already shot and finished and made, and it comes out, I think, on March the 6th. Certainly in England, probably around the same time in the United States.
Well, we'll look forward to that.
And
Go ahead.
The director, who is not an hysterical man, he says it's better than the first one. So.
Well, we'll look forward to that, Bill. We always like your work. Pride is quite a movie. We appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us this morning.
My pleasure.
Bill Nighy joined us from London this morning, Kim.